PrimeBid is bidding software that helps a construction company produce a bid. To set up a bid file, you can use the standard Windows user interface. You can start a file from scratch by picking New, open an existing file, and doing a save or save as on the files. In the case of opening a template, you could then save as, name it for the job or the bid that you're doing, and then proceed to modify that template and complete the bid setup. If you start from new, you will be adding elements to the bid file in a sequential set of steps that we will examine in the next 3 bids. Each bid is a file, and we can then look at the bid information for that file and the bid setup. Looking at the bid information, we see a window that shows us overall elements surrounding this bid, information that we would access and use during the bid and in the process of creating reports, being able to put this information into the headers and footers of report files. The bid setup window allows us to establish the parameters of the setup of the bid. We have quantities, which are gross quantities for the base bid and the alternates. We have 2 sets of quantities that you can use to describe gross unit prices for a job. We have the 2 divisions list to select from. One is the 5-digit or 16 division system. The other is the 6-digit or 48 division system to select for during the bid setup process. Based on your spec book, you will pick the correct division and section system to set up for this job. Here we have a place to put in the job duration, configure the material sales tax, whether it's on the total bid or just on materials, and a setup of the DBE goal amounts based on DBE categories so that we can have the correct analysis and management of DBE information in the system. The bid setup is done at the beginning of the bid. It becomes very difficult to change these setup parameters as the bid is structurally built. Also, PrimeBid is a program that utilizes a workflow amongst users. We can set up a multi-user system that will then allow users to participate in the bid as a team. Users would work in the 3 views represented by the 3 buttons on the left-hand portion of the toolbar. They are the matrices, which are the bid analysis or of bid packages in the system, setup of sections and bids that display a winning solution. The winning bids are transferred to a sections spreadsheet, which can be filtered to display the costs and sections of work that are found in the bid file. The totals for the cost categories and for the divisions is transferred over to a summary view, which is analogous to a top page or a totals page that shows us the category cost summary, division cost summary, and all the add-ons involved to complete the bid. It's from this view that we will close the bid and complete it, remembering that the bid is being processed by a team of people who are in the bid at the same time on a network live, processing information as a team that is accessible by all of the team members. In order to set up a multi-user scenario for a bid file, we need to first put a password in to the file. The password will identify who the master user is when it's put in, and it will allow the master user to set up the authorized users that are found in the bid file as well. So I set up the authorized users from the file menu. I get a list of the username with this password, and I can type in their name and password, and then set up their user rights. Once I put in a user name, you'll see that another column displays that shows the user's name, and now I can go through and give him matrices, editing privileges. Let's say he's going to do 2 through 7. I can highlight the box for surveying and then highlight the box for earthwork, press my space bar, it will put an X in there. Continue to put those in for all of the matrices in 2 through 7, and I have now assigned John Grace the editing rights to those matrices. When John Grace logs into the bid file, he'll be prompted for his username and password. That will identify his editing privileges within PrimeBid, the matrices that he will be inputting on in bid day, and then the system will recognize who he is, and he will have interface with the other users. The master user, during the processing of the bid file, can transfer rights from one user to another. So the rights for the masonry matrix could be transferred from John Grace to another user on the fly during the middle of processing the bid on bid day. To accept the edits, I'll click the OK button, and that will set up my bid file as a multi-user file with the bid setup and bid information tagged into it. Using a template bid file that is very similar to the bid that you're processing is a major savings of time and effort. However, some bids are so unique they do need to be set up from scratch. In the following videos, we will look at the setup of the summary view, sections, and matrices in more detail so that you can learn how to do these things.